Okay, live on Twitch. No viewers yet, but that's as to be expected, not being on Twitch for a long time. Goodness me, so if you're watching this back, I always speak because you're going to be watching this back. Yeah, as you can see, I'm in the air we go. I'm flying a flight for my VA. I was going to do it anyway, so I thought, well, look, if I'm going to do these flights for the VA, why not stream it? I'm taking off from runway 16 Aberdeen Airport, flying over to Belfast City. So that should be a lot of fun. So, just let me ensure that the aircraft's all up and started. It is. The engines are just all warming up. Basically, I've just started the aircraft up. Right, what we can do first is to load. Well, while a few people get here, like I said, I've not been on Twitch for some time. So I'm not surprised if I get 2 viewers. That's okay, it'll be up on the channel. There you go. Aberdeen Airport, EGPD, over to Belfast City Airport. Distance 208 odd nautical miles, so not a massive. Cruise altitude, flight level 240. Block fuel. It's a lot of that. That's in pounds, isn't it? That's okay. Aircraft import. Let's see what's going on with fuel there. Do I need to add... just to be safe, it's asking for... I'm not quite sure if this is in kilograms or pounds. But if it puts it in... No. Yeah, it's okay. I think that's just because I'm starting up. That's fine. I'm going to leave the cargo. How much cargo does Air We Go flight? Well, I'll tell you what. How many people? We've still got 1 person there. That's fine. It's the 1 person viewing. Let me know how the stream is. The internet should be okay. If it's a bit blurry at times. Is my voice... Yeah, my voice is okay in OBS. That's a good thing. Yeah, just let me know how the stream is as I go along. Let me see. Cargo. The Air We Go. Actually, what was I going to do? I was going to switch you to... There we go. This is compass. This plays in the background, essentially, when I'm flying. It lets me know my progress of the flight, how far I've been flying, that type of thing. Does it tell me what cargo I need there? It doesn't. It just... Oh, there you go. This flight's 8,500 kilograms of cargo. We shall go with that. So, 8,000... So let's just add 2,000 here. And that's... Well, it's gonna, no, it's going to let me add 1,000 there. Yeah, okay. Let's add 5,000 here. Not... That's going to be quite a lot, isn't it? Let's try that again. 0.5. Better. And... 2.5. Should go in now. You know what? I'm going to leave it as that. It's fine. I'm not going to... Oh, forward cargo. There we go. I can put a bit more there. 1.5. Will it let me... well, that's... You know what? That's good enough. It's good enough for me. I don't want to overload the aircraft. Quite a lot of fuel. Right. Have I got my keybind set up? I do, thankfully. So we want to climb initially. And for the flight, in fact, our cruise altitude is going to be 24,000 feet. So we can set that and arm it. Put that into our navigation, arm LNAV and vertical speed. We won't be doing anything with that yet. I'll arm my radio panel. Is my radio panel actually not working? I'm going to have to do it manually because my radio panel's not working. My physical radio panel. I did a flight before, so even my... Oh, brilliant. My multi-panel's not working. I'm going to have to do this all manually via the knobs here. So that should be a lot of fun, but not too many issues, I wouldn't expect. Just catch up. We got a couple of people there. Screen and sound are fine for you. That's great, Doc. Great to hear. And thanks for coming along. It's always nice to have a couple of people come along. Control on 5 will get me to my MCDU essentially here, or FMS rather, Flight Management System. Index button, next, and route menu, and load the flight plan. Now, when I do these flights for Air We Go, I do them cold. I don't practice them. I just essentially input the flights. Oh, that's gone straight in. That's great. Execute. And do them cold. So whatever comes my way is what I'll be doing. Now, I'm just going to compare this to my actual route in VATSIM. I came up with the route in VATSIM just to make sure it's somewhat similar, and it looks like it is indeed. That's the first waypoint. Etc, etc will go along, and I'm just going to see where to start to descend. I like to descend about 80 nautical miles out, so what's that, 28, 243, say, 50, 60, around about 10 kilograms from Fenwick into TRN. So Fenwick, I'll remember that one, and I can come back and look at that later just to reference it. I'm quite rehearsed with the 146. And this is the 146Q 200QT version. It's the only aircraft off the 146 they support. And Compass can follow. So that's why I'm flying that particular version. And once again, what I'll do, if I get to the right screen, I shall switch you to Compass. And in Compass, I'll go to PIREP. And essentially here, let's just see what screen you're in. Progress 100%, that's not good. It should be saying 0. Yeah, we're boarding, that's absolutely correct. Divert flight. But this progress bar shouldn't be filled up, it should be 0. Well, you know what, we've started this flight, haven't we? That should be 0. There's a bit of a bug there. Maybe it will go back to 0 once I start flying. We'll have to see. Yeah, that's a bit of concern. It can be a bit buggy with the 146 professional Compass. I've noticed this other aircraft. I've flown the Cessna 1 Grand Caravan with it. There's no problems there. But anyway, let me just press my B key on my keyboard. Altimeter's correct now. Airport's just to my left there. So that guy in front of me. Say your prayers. I'll try and steer to the right to not squash him. Yeah. Oh, there we go. He's moving. Good idea, my friend. And he's walking straight back into the aircraft. What an idiot. Typical sort of airline stuck. Straight into the aircraft, straight under it. Well, I couldn't avoid him. Must have had a bad day at work. Right, let's just steer onto the runway. What's beeping in my background there? Something's going on. I'll just check the compass. Oh, just a sec, guys. Just a sec. Compass is saying I've got a different flight loaded up there, so park and brake on. Thank you. Let me just get back to my flight in Compass. That's right. Right, flight details. EGPD to EGPE. That's EGAC to EGPD. Oh, hang on a second. Freight aircraft. That's the wrong flight it's given me, isn't it? Get flight bids. Just bear with me for a second. EGAC to EGPD. Yeah, that's given me the wrong flight in Compass. What I might do, I might just close down Compass, which I have done. Just bear with me a second. I'm just doing this in the background. I'm going to load up Compass again. I'm just going to make sure on the Air We Go website that my booked flight, EGAC to EGPD, hang on a second. Is that the one I... EGAC? I may... Okay, I'm going to remove the flight. I chose the wrong flight in Compass, in the Aerigal website. Okay, I've cancelled that flight. Just bear with me for a second. I'm just going to search by base. Can I show you this? Can I show you web? Let me just make sure that's... Yep, I can show you this. Web. And just bear with me, you've got a black screen for the moment, but you won't have in a second. Okay, I don't think they mind showing me showing you their website. So basically, you choose an airport. Now, I'm pretty sure I chose Aberdeen Airport. So I'll choose that. And then you click on Freight Aircraft to see where they're flying. And I want to fly to Belfast City from Aberdeen. And then you choose your flights. So I'm pretty sure EGAC... Oops. What flights have I got put in? Oh no! I'm flying from, let's just make sure, EGPD to EGAC. What an idiot. There's me trying to set the thing up. Okay. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to try and find an emergency flight. So, the compass was correct. It was me being an idiot. EGPD Aberdeen Airport. That's absolutely right. So is it flying in? It's a freight aircraft. Belfast City. What's going on? Because Aberdeen... EGPD is Aberdeen Airport, isn't it? Am I missing something here? EGPD is Aberdeen Airport. Well, EGPD to EGAC, you can go back to Compass. EGAC. EGPD. Right. So why is it... Yeah, so these flights, I thought I was doing it right. All cargo flights. Well, I just want flight from there. Departs EGPD. All passenger flights. Freight cargo. So why is it not showing me EGP? Is this a bug with their system then? Usually, you choose your airport you're departing from, which is EGPD. You can see that clearly at the top. And then you would choose outbound, inbound from East Midlands, outbound to EG. Okay, so if I choose that, outbound to EGAC. Let me just make sure now. I'll go to the main dashboard. Sorry about this. This was my mistake. EGPD to EGAC, which is what I booked in the first place. Ah. Now, if I start Compass, so let's bring you back. That's a good start, wasn't it? Let's bring you back to Flight Sim. I'll just give you a more interesting view there. Just while I load up Compass again. You just have to log in, just bear with me, Compass, so I'm just going to log into it. Recovery pirate found. Yes, no to delete it. I won't keep the previous pirate that I had. So the flights, get flight bids. So hopefully this time EGPD to EGAC. And is that the flight that I've got booked in my... Yep, that's the flight I've got booked in my sim brief. Compass, so what I can do now is show you, hopefully, there we go, so that's EGPD to EGAC, perfect. So then you select your aircraft, which is the 146-200 QT rather, so that's all fine. So if we go to PIREP now, there we go. Boarding. Right. So now we're in business. I hope. Hope I did that right. Right, okay, so what I'll do, release the parking brake, because I've got my throttle up, and let's get going with this flight, shall we? I've done enough messing around there. Not purposely, it's just the, I didn't quite realise. Now, to get compass, I'm going to keep an eye on my compass, I won't keep switching you back. But to get it showing taxiing, you have to taxi at a certain rate. And taxiing to runway, it's showing me I'm taxiing to runway. I'll bring you back into compass in a moment. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on getting it up in the air. There we go. Make sure I'm heading on the right runway. It will do 16, yep, that's the one I want to go from. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do, click that card there to set my speeds. And we're just going to go for it. I'm in flaps 1 configuration already. So rolling start. And off we go.
Speed alive both sides.
No problem to fix that.
80 knots cross checked.
And the VA is pretty forgiving if you do things like that, make mistakes, so I'm not too worried.
V1. Rotate.
Plenty of space to rotate. Just make sure I'm climbing. Gear up. And now I've got to watch my trim because it likes to go nose up pretty quick. I think all airliners do. Watching them take off from London City Airport recently, they went skywards when they took off. So it's not uncommon for the nose to go straight up, so I'm trimming down. Multi-panel doesn't work, does it? Never mind. Oh, multi-panel started working again. Oh, has it? No, it hasn't. So I use the rocker switch on my XPC yoke, just so I don't go skywards. Is it going to tell me to put my flaps up this time? Sorry, I put my gear up, by the way. Oh, now if my multi-panel's not working... What on earth did I do there? Well, I've just put my flaps up. Just bear with me a second. Now then. That's not normal behaviour. Did I just press something on my... not quite sure what happened there. Very strange behaviours from my yoke for a second. I think I've got it under control. Yep, absolutely fine. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Make sure I've got some nose trim up there. Or rather, trimmed up. Press my autopilot panel. It's going to go nose down every time I do that. So I'm just going to desync it and resync it. I essentially press my sync button. I think it's toggle afterburners, the sync button.
Speed checked below 205. Select flaps 18.
Now it's telling me. Okay. Yep. No, I'm not going to go. Let's throttle up. And we are following our lateral navigation now anyway, so we are following our course I've got set up. That was a little bit messy. I mean, my multi-panel is not working. It's lit up but not working. Neither is my radio panel, so I'm having to do this all by hand. And I pressed something on my keyboard accidentally. My elbow scrubbed it, and then my aircraft started to behave strangely. So it's all happening, but that's okay. I think we've rescued it. And we're off and flying. It's not really a massive problem. Speed will pick up below 10,000 feet and it will go pretty quick, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it. After 10,000 feet it gets a bit difficult for the aircraft. It's going to get interesting when I come into landing if my flap lever's not working. Is my flap lever not working at all? I'm just going to check it. It's not working on my multi-panel. Oh dear. No. Don't have a backup flaps on my current controls, so I'm going to have to rely on the keyboard for this. That's okay. No, it'll be absolutely fine, I'm sure. As you can see, completely prepared for this flight. As always. Right, while that's happening, what's my compass saying? I've got 4%. Let's just give you that view. 4% completed in compass. I'm climbing. Once I get to level flight, it should say level flight here. And as you go through the course, this will keep updating, so it's quite a handy little thing. You could set your scheduled time to the time of the flight. You don't need to do that. Like I said, this VA virtual airline is quite forgiving. So I'm not worried. Ooh, lovely clouds. Very nice. So yeah, just keep on climbing. Anybody watching, do you remember the... Because I never use it. Do you remember the shortcut keys? Just, I can search for it on the internet, can't I? But what are the shortcut keys for the flaps on the keyboard? On an actual keyboard, I'm going to have to use... yeah, I'm going to have to go ghetto on this flight, I'm afraid. I don't remember the shortcut key. It's F something, is it? Is it F6, F8 or something of that sort? The default shortcut keys for flaps, basically. Right, what's my speed doing? I'm just going to watch that because it will kick out of autopilot. It will warn me if I'm going too fast. You'll get a warning sound. I want to keep it fast because when it gets over 10,000 feet, it struggles to climb. And that's a characteristic of the 146 in general. And I'm pretty laden with fuel and cargo at the moment. What I am going to do is load my little nav map, and get the ILS for runway 22 at, make sure it is 22 I'm landing at this time. Yep, at Belfast City. Little nav map don't do that to me. So, EGAC. Belfast City Airport, ILS 22 is 108, 108.10. Oh, we're almost there, aren't we? So I can just... Now when you move these knobs, you're changing the active radio frequency, ILS frequency. So that's not standby. 108.10 is actually the active. So it's a bit to keep in mind in the 146. And past 10,000 feet, so landing lights can come off. There's calm conditions, I can release the crew. And we'll be on our way to Belfast City. So yeah, like I said, you could probably tell, I don't practice these VA flights. I pick a route and just fly it. It's great practice for flying airliners, because you don't get to practice them. You can do offline, but I don't, I just fly them. Where are we? Ganki, between Ganki and Asnod. Great words, it's Ganki and Asnod. Why did I say I want to descend at Fenwick just after? So yeah, only short legs here, so it won't take us too long. And how are you, my friends, anyway? People watching. What I will do is just check the default key bindings for flaps. flaps key binds. It's one of the F keys, I remember. Decrease is... Extend is F8, I was right. Extend... Oh, hang on. Extend, decrease flaps, F6 and F7. So increase F7 and F6. Right, I'll keep that up just as a reminder. And we'll keep going on our way. It's just aircraft maintenance. I'm climbing up to 24,000 feet. I'll keep an eye on the compass. Where do I have you? I've got you in the sim. I'm going to keep an eye on the compass. F6 and F6. Yeah, thanks Doc. Got it, yep. So it'll just be increase and decrease for me, not fully extend. I think extend is full flaps and retracts full flaps, so it's just increase and decrease, I believe. It's okay, a good bit of practice. I'm going to have to go the heading mode manually as well, which is here. Let me just get the bearing to the runway while I'm here as well in a little nav map. Bearing is 217 for the localizer bearing, so I can dial that in. 217. Oh. 217, yep. Just making sure I got that correct. So that's easy enough to dial in. You have to do that manually anyway, there's no way around that unless you've got a bind for ILS bearing. 217. That'll do. And the heading bug, which you can see down here, because my multi-panel is not working. I did a flight before and sometimes it conflicts because I didn't restart the PC. Sometimes the multi-panel and radio panel don't start up, which is a bit of a problem. It could be my USB ports. I've got them split between two different ports, so that doesn't help. I'll just sync my heading bug, and I'll use heading when I get closer to runway 22 to line up with the ILS. No worries. I keep saying I'm very practiced. I'm jinxing myself with the 146, but I'm not too worried. There we go. Picture seems to be okay on Twitch. That's good. Yeah, I do quite a few of these VA airliners flight. I'm looking to buy a few more airliners, even download the A320 fly-by-wire. They use that as well, so I want to, because I've not learnt that one. And the PMDG 737 is a big favourite. But nobody seems to fly the 146, but they do allow it, which is great. And the 146 is my most enjoyable aircraft, so why not? That's the speed suit. I mean, it gets over a certain altitude, 20,000 feet, you can see the speed dropping. I'm near full throttle, but the speed suffers. So I can desync, lessen my rate of climb, and then resync. So my rate of climb is down here, so I've just lessened it just to keep the speed up. There we go, that's better. It's building back up now. So that's one trick, and they do use sync. Apparently the 146 pilots used to, at least, use sync. So you just it's a temporary disconnect from autopilot, and then you sync your aircraft and reconnect. It's quite a handy skill to learn. That's the Air We Go livery. You get that free once you join Air We Go. You can download their liveries from the website, and I do like it. It's the cargo livery. Putting the go in cargo. Let's just see how we're doing with compass. Map. So compass is saying 26% done. So it lets you know once we get to our cruise altitude. This should change to cruise. It doesn't always. because the 146 is a little bit buggy. It tells you what you've been doing there. I've not been disconnecting well, I have been disengaging autopilot, but I've been syncing the aircraft. So it will pick that up. At the end of the flight, I'll submit the pirate, and I'll get some points and keep going for my next promotion with them, or my first promotion with them, which is all very exciting. So there we go. It's always worth getting back inside the aircraft just to make sure. Yeah, we're climbing. We're coming up to our cruise. It's lucky I did get back into the aircraft just to bring down my throttle. I don't want to overspeed. So we're at cruise altitude. Is compass saying cruise? Yes, it's saying cruise. Lovely. So it's working correctly. It's a cold flight, chaps, if you just joined. I've not practiced this one. I don't practice my virtual airline flights, I just go for them. Bit of a mishap with the routing at the beginning of the video, but I corrected it. I got my air brakes out. Okay. Yeah, I pressed the button, maybe. Okay. The aircraft was having a hissy fit there. Probably a button I accidentally pressed before, which is why my aircraft was going funny. That makes sense now. Makes perfect sense. I had my air brake out. Not in the climb. It doesn't deploy when you're in the climb, thankfully. Anyway, all okay now. We're heading towards Belfast City. Let's just make sure. Where are we? So you can see these are pretty short legs. We're going to be coming up to Endonu, and then Enugu, and then Grice and Gossan, and after that, when we get to Fenwick, is when we start to descend, I believe. Halfway through Fenwick, I shall start descending, so not long to the descent phase. My goodness. So there you go. What I'll do, chaps, every time I fly with we go, they do Concorde flight, historical flights as well. You can do Concorde and even your own GA flights, so I'll do them as well. But every time I fly with them, why not stream? I don't stream on Twitch enough, and I do quite a few flights with them. So if the internet's behaving correctly, and I'll put it on my alt channel afterwards. Is the idea. Now it's turning. Is it on to the next? Yep, it's going to Grice, from Enugu to Grice, then Gossan, and then to Fenwick. Correct ILS frequency entered, correct ILS bearing for this when we switch over, and heading I shall worry about later. Nice and easy. 30 nautical miles, is that correct? Let me just make sure. Grice to Gossan. Yep. So I'll keep popping inside the aircraft just to make sure with the 146 you've got to pay attention to it. Check where we are with a little nav map. In fact, what I can do, bring up the VFR map, which is probably something I should have done before, just to check the routing in-game, in sim. Never mind. Yeah, but you can see we've got the right direction towards Belfast City here. And this is where we are at the moment, still over Scotland. Heading towards EGPD. After is that true? EGPF. I'm gonna cheat. EGPF sounds very familiar. Glasgow Airport, yeah. Of course it sounded familiar. So heading towards, flying some way towards Glasgow there as well. Interesting. Oh, get that off. Don't need that on screen. Flying over the whiffs of Scotland. There are all the highlands and goodness knows what below us and cities. Good clarity. It's current time this as well, so it makes sense. It's getting a little bit dark where I am, but in the north it does go dark a little bit later, so we might be landing at twilight. We'll see. Just make sure my compass is behaving. I'll just show you compass if you just join the stream. That's compass. So with the virtual airline, they use something called compass. It tracks your flight, tells you what phase you're in your flight, tells you what you've been doing. Don't worry about all these disconnects and engage and disengage. It's just why I've been syncing the 146. It's a technique you use in the 146 to sync your virtual rate of climb. You can set, that's the scheduled time, but the VA doesn't mind what time you fly at, just as long as you fly from A to B in the correct aircraft. And everything else is left up to yourself, so it's quite an easy-going virtual airline, which is good. What's my aircraft doing? Is it slowing down slightly? Keep up the speed there, I don't want it to drop too low. Now we're building up a little bit. 14 nautical miles to go towards. To go towards Gossam. It's Gossam, isn't it? And then Fenwick, about 10 nautical miles in or so, we shall start to descend. We don't have far then to go towards. Yeah, so when I reach about 19 nautical miles from Fenwick to TRM, that's when I'll start descending. Speed should be okay. Where's the sun? We've got quite a bit of sunlight left there, so we should be okay in terms of landing in the light. So how are you chaps? Thanks for joining me. Like I said, if I'm flying for the virtual airline, I'll endeavour to stream as long as my internet's okay. It's behaving at the moment. And then put these videos on my YouTube channel. Alternate YouTube channels, just because they get deleted from Twitch within a certain amount of time, so I shall endeavour to do that. Ever considered? Yeah, I have gaming fusion. Yeah, I have considered doing more VATSIM flying. I can probably get away with it now with the 146 because I pretty much know it inside out until I accidentally start pressing buttons I'm not meant to be pressing, which I did before. But I pretty much know how to play it into its various modes. So yeah, I'll endeavour to do that. I'll endeavour to actually do a VATSIM flight. Probably do one in something like the Grand Caravan to begin with, from one airport to the other, because I've not done that live on VATSIM yet, and then do an airliner flight. Yeah, I used to do something similar with Flight Simulator X back in the day, but I've just lost practice and confidence a little bit, so yeah, I'll endeavour to do that. And the virtual airline supports VATSIM as well, so that could be a good thing to do, in fact. Not a bad thing. I don't think they give more points. It's just about the fun of flying for me. I'm not interested in promotion and flights, but it'd be nice to get a promotion to captain one day in the virtual airline. It's a lot of flights to do, but there we go. Do you fly with VATSIM Gaming Fusion? need to fill out my Twitch page as well. I've got my YouTube channel there, that's good. In Discord. It's a very blank looking YouTube channel, isn't it? Twitch channel, rather. So, I'll endeavour to do that. I'm hoping to... Do I say... no, I won't talk about that yet. But I'm hoping to do more generally coming up in the future. I'm considering it. Considering my options currently. So we'll see. Because YouTube's going fairly well. Right. Let's just bring that speed down and touch there. I don't want to overspeed. How are we doing? Control 5. So from TRM, so Fennec, we're on Fennec now. Ooh, lucky I looked, wasn't it? So, I'm going to say 15 nautical miles out from our next waypoint. So when this counts down to 15 nautical miles out, I'll start to descend now. Ooh. Now, let me just look at a little nav map. The altitude for the airport is 13 feet. So I should be safe. Let's bring this down to 3,000 feet. It's a good altitude. I shall arm that. Pre-arm it. Pre-arm vertical speed again. To get ready for a descent. And I'll just desync the autopilot and resync it, essentially, and pull my throttle back. In fact, I'm going to pull my throttle back to half, and you should hear not much happening in the aircraft. That's half throttle, but that's why it's called the Whisper Jet. Should be fine. The idea is to climb down to 3,000 feet. Like I said, I'm cold flying this, so it's not a practice flight. So at McGee, I hope to be near my... Well, yes, certainly by McGee, I hope to be at my 3,000 altitude, but we'll see. Bandwidth's too low for data streaming. You've been switched to offline mode. I hope not. Are you still catching me, guys? Just getting back into VATSIM and getting confidence in instrumental flight rules clearances. Fly for the Southwest Airlines Virtual Airline. That's flexibility for VATSIM, so it's definitely worthwhile to get back into it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Oh, is that the Microsoft bandwidth? Oh, it's not the Twitch bandwidth. Okay, that's okay then. I don't mind being an offline mode. Right, better start to descend, chaps. So, I've pulled my throttle back, desync, and push forward on my yoke. Climb down by about 2,000 feet per minute. Resync the autopilot. I've got my throttle. Actually, let's just desync, make sure that is 2,000 feet per minute descent. There we go, resync. And that's why I love the sync function of the 146. And we should climb down. Yeah, you can see it descending quite nicely. There shouldn't be a noise now. What a view. This is live weather. That is beautiful. So Glasgow should be yonder. Probably just past it. Wow. Anyway, back in the aircraft just to make sure things are going as planned. Speed is stable. I'll get that to 250 knots by the time we reach 10,000 feet. So I'll just lessen my rate of descent if necessary and put my speed brake out. No problems. You feel like you approached to GA aircraft to prepare yourself in VATSIM before jumping back? Yep. Yeah, you certainly, yeah. I mean, you know, if you're flying something like the Grand Caravan from one airport to the other, and do it a couple of times and get confident with that, then it should be fine. I mean, there's a lot more to it, isn't there, with VATSIM and airliners. You've really got to know your approaches and SIDS and stars inside out, and goodness knows what. I know I think about heading mode here, it's not a problem, and, you know, that type of thing. transponder I've not messed with, but that shouldn't be an issue. Yep, that should be okay. Not had to play with the transponder in this aircraft, but that's not going to worry me. Yeah, but that's the idea. That's the ultimate, flying airliners on VATSIM. So yeah, I've got a few more videos. I've got the ProDesk Sim Velocity 1 handles. I've got a couple of them in fact, but I'm doing the 737 handles this weekend, maybe the Airbus handles videos. There's approaches videos I've got to do on YouTube. So yeah, I'll get around to it. I shall get around to it and probably practice VATSIM in my spare time. The little spare time I have at the moment. Should be okay. How we're doing on our course, speed is fine. I can get that under control in a moment. So from Blacker, yeah, so when we reach Blacker, maybe this point here. These are very short legs, aren't they? Very short legs. Okay, it's not going to take long to get to McGee. Have I descended at the right time there? We'll find out. 18,000? I think we should be okay. Just going to put my air brakes out. So air brakes, very peculiar in the 146, but they deploy at the back of the aircraft. Just slow myself down a wee bit there. Just so we don't get to our navigation points before I'm at a good altitude for it. That's fine. Bring the air brakes in. So the air brakes are back in. It'll speed up a little bit though. I shall lessen my rate of descent in a moment. Thanks, gaming. Much appreciated. Yeah. Using FreeWire instead of Navigraph. Yeah, true. I mean, ChartFox is okay though, and little NavMap does quite a lot as well. It can do quite a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I guess if you're flying VATSIM all the time, Navigraph is really recommended. I did like Navigraph. I just can't justify it at the moment. Yeah, absolutely agree. How are we doing? 270 knots? Oh, 15,000 feet. Take a look at my legs. So from Tunso to Blacker, that's a good range to get us down below 10,000. We should be okay. And if not, I can do some heading mole shenanigans. But I'm not too worried at the moment. 278. God, I love that. Absolutely love coming outside when I've got zero throttle. Or even some like 50% throttle. You don't hear a noise from the aircraft. Beautiful. What's my compass saying? Is it saying I'm descending? It's still saying I'm in cruise. Okay, it can be a little bit buggy compass with the 146, but you know, it does pick up the approach, I hope. And when I shut the aircraft down, I'm going to have to taxi to a gate. I'll check little nav map, and I'll zoom into Belfast City, so I need to taxi to the right at the airport, that's fine. Runway 22. It's not an airport I'm familiar with, so I'll just taxi to the right. I'll take a right turning, left turning off. Not right, left. Air brakes out again. Just a slow. Incredible air brakes, aren't they? Very effective as well. There we go. Just make sure, a little nav map again. Runway 22, 108.10, 108.10. We're all tuned in. It's always worth double checking. Everything synced. Not using this panel, that's okay. Absolutely fine. By the time I use Chartable, and I've got an application on by Garmin called Flight Plan Go for my mobile device and synced it to my flight plan for GPS movement. A pretty good experience. It takes a lot of applications when I add FS Realistic, EVA application and VATSIM applications. Ooh, my computer will scream at me. It's doing okay now though. I mean, I can usually twitch and compass and little nav map and goodness knows what at the same time, so it should be okay. So I'm just going to concentrate for a second. Where are we? So we're coming towards Blacker, so from Blacker to Magee would be the next. We're below 10,000 feet. Seats for landing. And we're fine. I should be messing around with more lights there, but we should be okay. Right, okay, let's slow ourselves down, shall we? I'm breaking laws there, and I'm going to lessen my rate of descent. Oh, no, I want to go the other way, my friend. There we go. That will do. In fact, if I could keep it down that speed, that would be ideal. So let's just keep the air brakes out for a moment longer. And we should be golden. Should be golden. I just need to... I've got 0 throttle deployed there. Bring my nose up a wee bit more. Resync. My pirate on my virtual airline sheet. They'll probably look at it and say, how many disengages did you have with your autopilot? But I hope they understand the 146, the syncing function. That's fine, now we're below 250. And, just to be sure, yeah, Blacker to Magee. We're not at Blacker yet, so we've still got, about 18 knots, 28 nautical miles to go or so, so we'll be down. Probably when this gets to 5, I'll switch to navigation mode anyway and just line up with the ILS. Where's my heading bug? Having to do the heading manually this time. My multi-panels stopped functioning. That's not a problem. Oh, the sunlight. Blinding. Doing okay. Good. Autopilot, yeah, the 146 is very particular though, the way it does. I mean, I love it for its, because you really have to pay attention to the aircraft with the 146. It's not like hit a button and it'll take you from A to B. You've got to sync, resync, and do all kinds of shenanigans and air brakes over the runway as you're landing and then press it again for the spoilers. It's all good fun. Complex aircraft, but mighty fun to fly. 5.7, yeah, we're going to get there with no trouble. We're going from Blacker to Magee, then Magee to EGAC, Belfast City, which I have flown in and out of when I lived in Belfast for about half a year. Right, getting ready to switch over to nav. Yeah, I've got a good processor. I've always had a good processor. It's an old processor now, 1600 AF. When it's an old Ryzen 5 processor, but yeah, it's just brilliant. It's probably the most powerful part of my PC at the moment. Oh, but never mind. It does okay. It does me okay. Right, so we're getting towards that 3,000 feet. You'll hear the klaxon in a moment. can we pick up? We can indeed, so I can put it straight into heading mode. Move my heading bug around a little bit and then try and pick up the ILS. That's worked out well, isn't it? There's the klaxon. So the virtual speed, nose down speed will start to decrease in a moment, or increase, go back to 0. So I'm just going to have to watch my throttle so I don't slow too much. There's a glide slope indicator there. Heading bug a little bit more. I want to get there a little bit sooner, please. What's my speed doing? I'm just keeping an eye on that vertical speed indicator there. Gonna pump my throttle up a little bit. I want to slow down for flaps anyway, but I don't want to go so slow that the autopilot will disengage as it does in the 146. I hope that sun's not going to be in my eyes when landing, but I don't think it should be. We'll be landing this direction. So what's my compass saying? Quick look at that. It's saying I'm on approach. It missed the descent phase and just saying I'm going out on approach, that'll do. So I went from cruise to approach somehow. Oh, arm.
Localizer arrived.
The localizer.
Localizer captured.
Localizer captured. Thank you. Let it keep decreasing in speed. I'm going to put my air brakes out so I get flaps 1 call out. Gotta watch that though, gotta watch that. Will it say it to me? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Got flaps 1 and gear down, essentially. So it's stage 1 flaps and gear down. Any second, my friend. Let me help you upon your way. F7, wasn't it, Bob, you were saying? Is it going to say it? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That's definitely enough for stage 1 flaps, and you should be able to hear them. There you go. I'm going to put my gear down too, and put my throttle to 50%, otherwise I'll slow too much. Gear's coming down, stage 1 flaps. And we should be okay. Let's spot the runway. Yes, I can. Oh, better arm the glide slope. Come on.
Glide slope armed.
Stage 2 flaps, just watch my speed.
Glide slope captured.
And then we should...
Established on the ILS.
Established, that's fine. Let's just go full flaps. Oops. Should be full flaps, yep. Using the actual keyboard for that. Oh, watch my speed, watch my speed. I'm going to disconnect. Oh, okay, I just caught that. Just about caught the speed there. It's going way too slow. And it just kicks you out of autopilot basically and starts... You don't want to see it. There we go. Should be okay. Should be fine. Again, I'm just adjusting my speed. You have to be really hands-on with this aircraft. Getting ready with my air brake again, and then the spoilers as we land. Taxi to my left. No particular stand, it's okay. A little bit slower just so I catch up with the glide slope here. Wee bit slower. There we go, I've caught up with it. It's fine. Nice approach. So that's what I mean, Game Infusion. Yeah, I'm pretty adept with the 146. Come to VATSIM, I'll be crashing into Concords and 737s all over the place, probably. It's a different beast, isn't it? Anyway, I've not landed yet, so let's see what happens. But I'm not too worried. Speed's okay. If I keep it at this speed and on that profile, I should be absolutely golden. And then it's air brake out and spoilers, so once we've landed. Oh, I think I've got my flow. I did do an excellent landing the other day, 83 FPS and that. Is it FPS they use? FPM, I can't remember what they call it now. So let's see how I do here. Clear the runway, Huddison's on his way. Sorry chat, I'll catch up with you in a moment with your... Sounds disastrous. Yeah. 83, yeah, 83 it was, yeah. Got a screenshot in Discord of it. It was my best landing in the 146 yet. But I had a bounce. I didn't feel the bounce, but apparently I had a bounce. So it wasn't perfect. Right. So as soon as I get over the threshold, it's air brakes out, which you do in a 146, and then press it again for spoilers on the ground. Cool. Frames were a bit jerky there, never mind. Yeah, nice. As you can see, the profile entering the airport is perfect. The runway on the approach. Pappy light's perfect, as you would expect. Under autopilot. So I'll take it off autopilot once we get over the threshold, and air brakes out. Any second, once I get a little bit closer. Feet on my pedals. Air brakes out. Autopilot off.
Disconnected.
Actually, my multi-panel was working because I was using the... never mind. Never mind. Come on. Oh, need to slow down. We'll bring the throttle down.
Yeah.
Oh, not so good that time.
Yellow.
Right, so I've got the spoilers out, as you can see, and I'm going to brake because I'm approaching that end of the runway as
80
well.
knots. 60 knots.
Does that count? Just about pulled that off. I didn't pull my throttle back. Yeah, well, there we go. Never mind. It would have counted on that, so I'm sure. Bring my air brake and spoilers in now. I've got a taxi to a stand now. If you're on Virtual Airlines, you do have to taxi as well. So we shall do that. Pick a stand. Yeah, not the best, was it? Did I get any bounces? One bounce again. But right in the centre of the runway. Yeah. I'll take it. Just have to remember the throttle next time. Hey, we got down. I'm afraid to look at... Really? 400? For goodness me. Okay, is my Twitch going a bit blurry there? It is. Hopefully the recording's okay. That's the internet playing up. It's blurring in and out a little bit, but not too bad. Where shall we park up? Anywhere will do, to be honest. I'm not too worried. Not too worried. Should we park up near the bottom end there, where you got all the cars? Why not? It's quite a short runway, wasn't it? Shorter than I expected there, but if I pulled my throttle back, it would have helped. I wouldn't have been floating so much, but anyway, you learn these things, don't you? As you go along. Should have learnt ages ago, but never mind. When you're live streaming, you do end up doing things that you don't normally do. Bring those flaps up. Bring that throttle back. And just make sure my parking brake's engaged. It is now. There we go, I can straighten up later. So what I do now, just to show you, and don't mind me showing you that, I can get that off screen, I've showed you enough of that. I go cold and dark here. Now I could shut down manually, but I'm not going to go through all that at the moment. Go to maps so you can see the compass, and I just go submit pirate, and pirate filed. Thanks for flying with Air We Go. Simple as that. So they will look over that, see how many disconnects of my autopilot I've got as usual, saying what you're doing, Huddison. Listen, there you go, chaps. Just a quick flight. This will be on my alternate YouTube channel. I'll upload the video on there, which I'm intending to do. Plenty more flights coming, because I do fly for Air We Go quite a bit. Thanks for watching, chaps, and I'll see you soon.